What's up, people? This is Storyalysis. I'm Chris,
And I am Pierre.
and we are going to be we're doing a summary of episodes 13 to 18 of Vinland Saga, Season 1. Just a refresher or just a warning in case you're new to the podcast. Peter and I have already seen the entirety of Season 1, so we're just going through and summarizing like a big chunk of episodes so that we're really good to go for Season 2 so that everything is fresh in our heads. And in the previous episode, I think I said I was going to give a definition of Normani. So really quickly, I'm just going to touch on that.
Yeah.
So Normani, it's from what I saw, it's likely a variation of the word Normans. And the Normans were a medieval ethnic group that originated from Scandinavia, specifically from a region that is now known as, a region that, not from a region. It originated from Scandinavia, specifically from what is now known as Norway, Denmark, and Sweden. Just wanted to throw that in there before we get started. Episode 13, Child of a Hero.
Oh, right.
So we start off with a kid. He's arriving at a shore on Wales. His gaze is downcast and he's carrying his mother on his back. He's met by the commander of Wales that we met in the last episode, Gritanius.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Gritanius. The kid tells Gritanius that his mother is dying and that she wanted to return to her hometown, and so he brought her here to Wales. And then we get a new opening song, and right as the song starts up, we see a quote that pops up, and it says that, like rowing a boat, we enter the future backwards. All we see are the scenes of the past, and no one can see the views of tomorrow. It's such an awesome epochal analogy that captures the burden of being a creature who's enslaved to time, as like humans are. And in order to move forward, the past must constantly be in view, and you're forced to always reflect on it. So I think that's a pretty cool thing. I've never seen an anime do something like that. They put like a quote in the opening that represents a big theme in the show. So it was really nice to see. Did you pick up on that? I'm not
I didn't
sure
pick up
if
on that, but that gets done in the next episode also. I didn't pick up on this one.
Yeah, like all the openings, it starts off with that, which is interesting. I wish the font was a little bit thicker because I feel like that's why people might miss it.
Yeah,
but, it is what it is. Still a really cool quote.
I miss the old song, man. Like this one's good too, but the thing is, this one is good, but this one is slow. To me, this is subjective. Like to me, this song like picks up almost at the end, where the first song was like, bro, the first song was like after the first two sentences, like man. Like, ah. Yeah. But yeah, bro, it's still fair. No, it's still fire though. The soundtracks are dope.
Yeah. It gave me a more historical vibe, this song. I don't know, like a historical rock vibe.
That is true.
But so after the opening, we pick up from the last episode where we're in the middle of dealing with some resistance, to which Askeladd, he says, these days a sheep must wear a wolf's skin to graze. And he's basically saying that right now, this resistance that we're facing, they're all bark and little bite. And even if they tried to bite, they're the ones who would be devoured, not us.
Right.
So Askeladd, he pities them, and then out of pity, he decides to play along with their act and not reveal his true plan to them just yet. And then again, like this plan is basically, it's a long-term investment in Canute, where he'll be groomed to be a ruler that will enter a true non-aggression peace treaty with Wales. So that's like the plan, the main plan that Askeladd has that he's trying to carry out. So as he's trying to keep up with the act that this opposition has, he wants to avoid any unnecessary fighting. So he draws everyone's attention to Canute, and then he tells Canute, like, hey, go on, say something spirited. It can be anything you want, as long as it makes this opposition uncomfortable. So here, Askeladd is banking on Canute's status and his presence to call their bluff and intimidate the opposition to the point where they would let them through.
Mm-hmm.
And Canute, he fumbles because he's too shy. And then he goes to run behind Ragnar. Ragnar says that he'll speak on behalf of Canute, but Askeladd interrupts him and uses this as a teaching moment for Ragnar. And he basically tells him, like, listen, you got to stop babying Canute. He needs to live up to the responsibility of being a prince, and it's unbecoming of a future ruler to cower in fear when everyone is acting on his behalf. And he didn't say like those exact words, but it's basically the sentiment behind what he was saying.
Yeah.
And then Ragnar, he goes on to say that Askeladd doesn't understand Canute, and then we get a glimpse into Canute's childhood, which Ragnar describes as a fox nest where parents, children, and siblings eat each other, and that it was very hard for the frail and sickly prince to survive that. So his survival, how he survived, turned him into someone whose first instinct is to hide and not stand out.
Yep.
So Ragnar, he doubles down on his approach to handling Canute and then tells Askeladd that he's stepping out of line. And Askeladd, he acquiesces, he admits to stepping out of line and just decides to tell the opposing leader his plan. So as that happened, Thorfinn talks down on Canute. He's like, are you really the same age as me? Like, what are you doing? And this is echoed by Britannius telling Askeladd that Ragnar doesn't know that all fledglings have to leave the nest someday eventually, and that what he's doing is bad for the chick. And in this case, the chick refers to Canute, which
it's
and they really, they try to throw you off sometimes with these like these words and the way that they refer to Canute. Well, more so like in a future episode is what I'm thinking of. But yeah, it's and with Canute's look, his appearance.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's insinuations that it's like, oh, is he a girl? Is he a guy? I don't know.
Insinuation, it's clear as day. Like Stevie Wonder can. All right.
Wow.
All right, you know what, man? Let me just chill. Like, dude, look at his figure. Like slim waist, curly eyebrows, long hair, bro. It's like, you know what's funny? Lord of the Rings, Orlando Bloom's character had long hair, was slim, but he still held like characteristics that are like, all right, that's a guy. But I guess that's different because that's like a movie with like actual people. This is like anime, so I guess it can be more ambiguous. But like, bro, just it is what it is, man.
Yeah, and also too, it plays into like how they're trying to represent Canute, because they're trying to make him be this very innocent person. So he has like, he has like soft features, very healthy looking hair. Like he's not rugged, he's not tough looking. So it also plays into that.
See, I understand. That means like, you've never fought. That means like, you're not spoiled, but like you've not endured like not even hardship, because like you're supposed to be raised like a prince, so you're supposed to have like fighting skills, which wouldn't show that you've been suffering because you've been living the utmost best life. You're a prince, but it's like, yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. He embodies that pretty
Exactly.
well, but a bit too well. That's the thing, Christian. It's
A
like,
bit too
but
well.
you can still let him look like a guy still. But
Mm.
listen, man, that is what it is. The show's great. That's all I'll say. I'll say the show's great. That's it. But yeah.
Yeah, so Oscalad and Gritanius, they converse with the opposing leader and away from everybody, so this is in private. And
Yep.
this conversation is important for many reasons, but one reason is that it's the first time we see Oscalad's like civil diplomatic skills in action. Like he's a strategic, level-headed, charismatic, smooth talker who knows how to influence people of high rank with his words. So he's not like his men who need to rely on brute force to get what they want. So like he courteously, respectfully, and calmly um, lays out the plan that he has for Canute, and he confesses that he inherited the blood of the great leader of the Roman Celts. And he touched on this in episode 10, Ragnarok, where he was talking about the Romans and how they preceded the Saxons. So we're getting
Saxons. Yep.
Saxons, yeah. And we're getting a little more information about that here. And because he spoke about the Romans with this reverence that we now have an explanation for. Like it's his heritage, so of course he has a great deal of respect for it. And yeah, so he has their blood within him. He's a mix of Danish and Welsh blood. His father Olaf conquered the coast of Wales in the past. And his father carried his mother Lydia as a concubine. Oscalad was their child, and he's a descendant from Artorius, which someone described as a war god from Old Britannia.
Yeah.
So Artorius, he was the commander of the Britannia army in the 5th and 6th centuries, who brought about peace to Britannia. And as a result, he became a legend, and the narrator told us that he was the person that the legend of King Arthur was based on, which I'm assuming is, accurate. He said it pretty confidently, so I believe it.
I believe
and,
him. Leaf discovered America. But yeah.
Yeah. Getting a good history lesson. And so proof of Oscalad's heritage was provided by Gritanius, and Oscalad says that because he's a mix or because he's of mixed blood, he blends in with the Danes, so it gives Wales an insider for the Denmark army. And not only that, but this insider will have a direct influence over the next king of Denmark, which would be Canute, and will claim a high position as a result. And if that happens, Oscalad can guarantee that the Treaty of Non-Aggression with Wales will be fulfilled. And his primary goal in all of this is to protect Wales and the kingdoms within it. So Oscalad tells the opposing leader, his name is Aser. He's associated with one of these kingdoms within Wales. And he tells him that he hates the Danes as proof of his conviction. He convinces Aser to let them pass so long as they masquerade as prisoners, and they march on through Aser's kingdom. So while traveling, Thorfinn and Canute, they have a little moment where they bicker, which is pretty big for Canute because via the age similarities that he shares with Thorfinn, he's able to muster up enough courage to defend himself and explain his behavior thus far, which is pretty big because he's been shy this whole time. But Thorfinn is the one person who's able to really pull his personality out of him.
Yeah, he got under his skin. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so then we get a picture where we see that Canute is giving to Gritanius in writing a promise to stay true to the non-aggression treaty when it happens, because Gritanius wanted that in writing. It starts snowing, and then they continue marching to the main army in Gainsborough. So they'll be marching through enemy territory, and they march right into episode 14, which, by the way, we're given one of my favorite anime endings of all time. The song and the visuals, it's one of my favorites. It's like the song is so heavy and it oozes like this very hardened life in the lyrics and in the beat, and I really love it.
For what, episode 13 or 14? Which one? The end of
Well,
episode 13?
like the ending song, just like how there's a beginning song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the ending song. So the ending song happens in all the episodes after episode 13.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Well,
no,
and
soundtrack is great.
Yeah, nah, dude, it's awesome. So before you begin episode 14, I just wanted to take a minute to say something about this episode and also a future episode that deals with the topic that it deals with.
Okay.
So I wanna acknowledge that this is a big episode in many ways. It's one of the couple episodes that really challenges the idea of God. And for someone who's religious, such as yourself, like I know that it could potentially be very uncomfortable because it can plant a seed of instability in the mental framework that's provided by religion, which can shake the foundation with which a person's faith sits upon. So I'm not religious, but I do commend you and anyone who is religious that can truly digest and appreciate an episode like this and the future episode, which forces them to look at their faith underneath a lens, because that takes maturity, it takes perspective, and it takes courage. So just want to get that out there. But go ahead, dude. Episode 14.
Oh shit. Yeah, man. Well said. All right, let's do it. Episode 14.
So this is a tense one, man. This
is tough. This is I was telling you off air. I don't know why I did even numbers for this. Yeah, all of my episodes are terrible for tonight.
Yeah, you got the most saturated.
Yeah. Okay. You know when Marlene killed Anna, I'm just rip the bandage. I'm like, 1, 2, 3. All right.
Just gotta rip it.
Just rip it. All right. Episode 14, The Light of Dawn. Mm-hmm. Great. So same as yours, right? It starts with yours, a scripture. I get mine too. Yeah, but a Bible verse. The Bible verse. Just a scripture from the Bible. Yeah, it's like basically like why do you continue to forget us? No, that's not from the Bible. Actually, it just starts with that. Yeah, it just says, why do you continue to forget us? And then it said, why have you abandoned us for so long? Damn. Man. And then oh man, no. Christian, this episode is actually oh my goodness.
I'm sure
we're not faking, by the way, for the two listeners. This is like we thoroughly enjoy this, and this is a deep episode.
Yeah. It's a brutal one. It is a brutal one. Like it's the kind of episode where once you watch it, you kind of you gotta take a step back and just kind of do something else.
Yeah, for sure. After these questions, why do you continue to forget us? Why have you abandoned us for so long? They show us a girl. Her name's Anne. Mm-hmm. I know her name's Anne because her parents about to call her mom or her dad. She's talking, basically. She's praying, she's talking to God. obviously she's done something. There's a sense of guilt. She's like, and she brings up things in this like soliloquy because it's just herself. It's like even angels get punished, if they disobey. So it's like
Mm.
me, who's a like mere mortal, I've just done something and I'm just asking for like forgiveness. Like I guess I'm soiled or something. He's like, I feel a burden to think that you sit in heaven and watch us. As in like
Oh,
I'm under a lens, like I'm under a microscope, and it's just like I've
god
done
damn.
something you've seen. Just, oh my goodness. Oh, the way this girl just like embodies a strong
Mm.
Christian. I said Christian. It's hilarious. It's like, wow, that's okay. Even from them,
She's like
like, all
a
right,
she's like a perfect mix of uh pure innocence and pure curiosity.
that's
And then
exactly what I was
she's
going to say.
presented with, yeah,
Yeah, no, I
yeah.
wasn't going to the correlation. Well, the mixture, the amalgam that you just did. That's not what I was going to do. I was going to say the innocence portion of it, but still, yeah,
Mm.
curiosity too. Exactly, because she's asking questions, and question stems from intelligence, which stems from wanting to know, knowledge,
Right.
seeking knowledge. It's perfect. So yeah, her parents call her in. She goes back in, and they take us back to the dates. Um, the priest is praying to God.
Mm.
Oh my goodness! It's like he's like, "Come watch over us." I don't remember. But I know he was praying. Obviously, I guess for guidance in their time of like need. Restoring his faith. Yeah, I just don't remember what the prayers was about. And then, of course, as he's done praying. There are two brothers that are in Askeladd's gang crew that are,
Mm.
talking about their bond, like the brotherhood, how they wouldn't betray each other for nothing. That they've went through a lot. They've fought numerous, like countless battles, and they've had each other's back like forever. And it is what's gonna be. And then they ask the priest, is that love? Because the prior episodes he was describing love, and they're like, what is that? They piqued an interest in them. So the guy was like, no, that's not love. And they're like, is it booze then? Because this man is like drawn to drinking. Like it's, dude, I love the fact that he's a priest.
Uh,
Like he drinks, which being drunk is like it's a sin. I think it's written somewhere in the Bible. You should not drink to the point where you become drunk. But he's always drunk. Yet he's a priest. It's two things
Contradictory.
that yeah, two things that wouldn't go. But just nah. Everyone play the roles pretty well. Um, and then for some reason he's like, no, the booze, that's not love. And then they bring up the story. He's like, there was a time the older guys over at Askeladd, like they were there because Thorfinn's a kid now, so this must have been years ago. So Thor's story they're gonna get into. They're like, we met this guy on this ship that we cornered on the Faroe Islands a while back. This man had like incredible strength. This man he beat like about, I think he mentioned like 30 of us with his bare hand. He didn't kill anyone, which angered me. One of the brothers said, he's like, "Oh, that's so
Mm.
unwarrior like. It's like just disrespectful. Like, how
And
do
he
you
had a
fight?"
sword too, so he could have.
Yes, he had a sword, and he could have. He could have. I didn't understand the correlation there from the prior conversation about like love to this, but of course I'll keep going on. And if you find a correlation, please enlighten us and me, because I was like, okay, that's cool, I understand, but I didn't see how that segued into them not knowing what love is.
So there is a correlation, but when we talk about episode 18, we can come back to
Oh, which I'm gonna be the one freaking discussing again.
that. Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah. So this guy was very disrespectful. He didn't want to fight us, and he said, "A true warrior doesn't need a sword." And that sentence just freaking got drilled into the priest's head. Like he repeated it. The true warrior doesn't need a sword. True warrior doesn't need a sword. Doesn't need a sword.
Mm.
um, and then of course It started snowing when Askeladd took the new route in your episode that you just described. There's a snowstorm. Duh. They are trapped. Ragnar's like, let's just turn back. And Askeladd, of course, he's like, no, we would have to leave or plunder behind. And my men would not like that, which makes perfect sense, actually, bro. It's like, that's freaking, what, a few days worth of journey that would have to freaking all for nothing. It's like, no, we're moving forward. That's not us. Oh my goodness. And then the sea light meaning people, meaning houses. Oh my, and this motherfucker said, attacking and plundering villages is a tradition for us Northern. Oh, I hate it, bro. Oh my goodness.
They make you love them and then they make you hate them. Crazy.
Because we've seen this already. A, we've seen this already. We know it's coming. But B, he's announcing it in such a effortless way. The way these guys are impervious to the lives that they take, man. Like, it's insane. Like, that's like bragging rights, bro. Like, oh, that's what us Norsemen do. that's our thing.
There's like a hint of pride there.
Right. Dude. And these men have families. These men went back home a few episodes ago, and people that love them, that they love, that they bring back treasures for. Man, it's crazy. It's crazy. I think those are true psychopaths, you know? Like being able to be a monster and put that monster on pause whenever you want to. It's insane. It's insane. And of course, they take us to the future praise. A family. They're praying again. Prayer. Like you mentioned before with Anna. Anna or Anne? What's homegirl's name? Homegirl's name is Anne.
Anne, yeah.
Yeah. Curiosity. Why do we pray? Father answers, because Jesus says so. And Father further elaborates, unbelievers don't pray. Yeah, that's literally the difference. People that don't pray, they're unbelievers, and when Judgment Day come, they will get their share. And and she asked, why did God pass his judgment so soon? And then he answers, it wasn't soon. Like, it actually took a while for mankind to derail to such a crazy extent. And then he's going to come later on to finally put an end to all of this. And the son's like, and the Danes, are the Danes evil? One of the sons asked, and the father said, yes, the Danes are evil men. They're going to hell. And then, this was like a kind of like hypocritical to me, but he doesn't really understand that, the father, because, like when you're brought up from religion, you have such a unilateral point of view of something, you don't really question anything else. He tells his son, yeah, the Danes are evil. God knew too. So make sure you know that these people are evil, but also make sure you follow God's commandments. One of God's commandments is love your neighbor like yourself. So I was like, it was kind of weird. I'm like, okay, that's like hatred on a group. Like, not like your enemies. People that come. It's hilarious enough, fitting enough. You're about to be attacked and killed by Danes. I get that, but it's like, one of my point is like, not all Danes. It's just this generalization of hatred. It's not. No, God is not behind that. from what I think.
I gotta say, they captured the hypocrisy that you're touching on extremely well.
Yeah.
And they're doing it so not like it's not in your face, but it's like gently under the surface.
Yeah.
These topics that are being touched on here, and it's fantastic. They're doing an incredible job.
Bro, you must really hate a group of people to even like have your kids grow up with that mindset, because you're religious. You can just give him the good part. Believe in God. God's going to come back for Judgment Day. Just do good by him, follow his commandment. But for your little kids, you're like, Danes are evil. You're like, yeah, they're very evil. It's like, it's almost how, how this country, unfortunately, this country's like, the background, the roots, like hatred is something that unfortunately is there. And I was having this conversation. Well, I constantly have these conversations with my coworkers. Like, you know how racism would never be truly eradicated, and mostly it's because it's passed down. Like there are people right now sitting with their kids telling them, you know, like this race is fucked up. Like never bring one in my home or some shit like that. It's just something can never go away if it's constantly being like passed down. It's going from one generation to the other, and it might lose the stern, the weight that it once held, but it's still going to be there, like because it's like a family heirloom. But it's just crazy shit. But yeah, and then of course, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, that's fitting. Anna's like, I can't take this. I need to go get some air. Oh, this girl doesn't know how she just saved her life. But anyway, it's like, I can't. I gotta go. I gotta go pee. She goes outside, goes to the tree with a little. What's the opening for a tree? Is there an English word for that? Like what's
opening for a tree?
No, the little hole in the tree where she hid the ring. There's just a hole in the tree. Like I thought there was a word for that. I don't know if there isn't.
I feel like there should be a word for that, but I can't think of it. There should
be a word for that. Yeah, my knowledge of this language is very limited. But yeah, but anyway, it's she took the ring out, put it on her finger, and again the guilt comes back. She's like, you know, I stole this. Like I love the fact that two things happen. I stole this. The devil made me do it. I shouldn't have gone to the market if I didn't have money anyway. I love the fact that she has accountability. Just because she's a kid. Because think about it, Christian. You're brought up in religion. The devil make you do bad things. Like, you know, God is watching me. I did something bad. Like the devil made me do it. You know, it was a moment of weakness, and I fell prey to the devil. But for her to say right away, I should have known not to go to the market if I didn't have money. I was like, man, if people were accountable in this world, like so much would have not gone down, bro. Like if you held up to some of the shit that you did, like not like scheming and lying and just like conniving, just all kind of like being deceitful, like we would be in such a better stage as humans as humans. She did that so well. I love that, man. She tries throwing it away, but of course a kid, materialistic things, which is another good thing too, actually, because you mentioned religious. I'm not religious. I'm biblical. I read my Bible a lot because it's a great book. I don't know her name in English. Lot. I don't know. Lot's wife. I don't know if that's how it is in English to have a French Bible. Like, yes, God, when they were like escaping this city, I think Sodom and Gomorrah, like Sodoma and Gomorrah. I don't know how would you say that in English. But anyway, she turned back and looked back because she was rich. She had like wealth. She had like gold. She couldn't keep moving forward to detach herself from these materialistic things. For that, she froze and turned into a statue because the command was like not look back and keep moving forward. I love the fact that she couldn't get herself to get rid of that ring. But then again, she's a kid. Of course, it's a cute ring. It looks very good in her finger. So she's like, oh, it looks cute. She tried throwing it away. She's like, no, I can't. It looks so good. And then, fuck, the door opens.
So real quick, because you mentioned a difference between being biblical and being religious. What is that difference? Because I'm not sure.
Religious is religion. Religion comes with assembly, group of people. That's a religion. A religion is a group of people that believe in something, that have other people believing. When you just read your Bible, you just believe in the Bible that the things that you read did indeed happen. Yeah, pretty much that. Like my faith stems from what I read instead of a group of people that I join and worship with.
Okay. So it's like a more personal relationship with God.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But that's subjective. I don't know. Someone might hear this and say, this dude don't know what he's talking about. Freedom of speech. We love America. But yeah, it's yeah, but Jordan's like, hey, I found dinner. Oh my goodness. And the Bible verse, like well, I keep saying Bible verse. Yes, and then the scriptures come back up. But thou hast
Mm,
utterly rejected us. Thou art very wroth against us. Oh, like,
damn,
shit's
that
about to go
hits.
down.
That hits
Oh my
hard.
goodness. Again, accountability is I'm gonna get back to this, right? But people, especially people that don't believe and people that are there are what's a way to word this to not like get canceled or come off as insensitive or something. Like people that don't believe in anything or people that believe in the premise that God is too harsh to allow these things to happen. Accountability. You know, he gave you free will. So of course, the free will he gave you, it's like I'm not gonna meddle with shit that you do, and I'm just gonna come back and for a judgment. It's you. Like we're the one that's killing each other. The animal's not killing each other. So why God? Why did you do this? Why did you do that? It's like men are just we're just wicked with each other because we have free will. We don't have the ability to just be freaking not ability. We don't have the disability of thinking for ourselves. So therefore, it draws us to favor things like greed. You know, favor things like yeah, literally like greed, self interest. So it's like, but we constantly go back to why are you allowing this to happen? Like, nah, bro, we're doing this to ourselves. Anyway, that's just my take on this. It's accountability, but again, just my
This
take.
this also ties into episode 18.
This ties into
Oh.
episode 18. Very much ties into episode 18. Oh my goodness, Jesus Christ! And then, bro, he's like, you know what? We're taking the food. Oh my goodness, this mother came in unfortunately because you know that's your instinct. Come stand up for your kid, and Bajorn just knocked homegirl into the multiverse, a different dimension. Oh my
Oof.
goodness, they take the food. Oh, and then Ascalad does the math. Jesus Christ. Have two kids. If we count two kids as an adult, that's only 50 then to last the winter.
No.
Winter lasts for the winter. That'd be 50 people. It won't be enough because there's 104 soldiers. Jesus Christ. My goodness. Rally everyone up. And this
Mm.
guy's like, bro, just leave us half. Just leave us half of the food. Like, we'll make it. And this man said, don't worry about making this winter. You will never have to worry about this winter or any other winters. Oh my goodness.
Mm.
Uh, he tells
See
the
what's
dude, hey,
crazy? It's crazy.
yeah,
It's
go
like
ahead,
there's
brother.
a calmness to it, to his voice that kind of makes
Oh my
you a little bit
goodness.
secure, and like for a moment you're like
Oh no,
you think
I would not.
there's,
I would not be secure, Christian. I don't know if you would be.
well,
That's good. I
maybe
would not be
secure
secure at the moment.
maybe secure isn't the best word, but like it's
Oh,
the warmth in his voice as he's saying it, like it can make you feel a little bit hopeful, the tiniest bit of hope. And having that little bit of hope and then having that taken away from you when he says, like when he continues his sentence, it hurts so much more than just never having that little bit of hope in the first place, I think.
mm,
And
it's
that
true.
makes his words so much more brutal and the whole scene so much more brutal.
Oh man, the priest. Oh yeah, of course the priest. Yeah. The beginning of this whole thing, the priest saw this coming. Of course, man of God. Hey, save yourself! Run away! They beat him, and then the priest comes back up. He's like, "They're civilians." Oh my goodness! And again with the freaking pragmatic and freaking just yeah, basically this dude is just pragmatic self, like not giving into any emotion, just being realistic, telling them, listen, there's not enough food to feed them. You know, just literally, like if I let them live, they'll go and tell the enemy. Oh my goodness! And the best thing I can do for them is to just take them away from the misery. Ragnar, come back, Ragnar. The Christians. Oh my goodness! He said, "I'm doing this for the prince." Oh my goodness! I'm doing this for the prince. Which, sure, like Ascalon really this is not for himself, bro. It's just what needs to be done, which is why he is fit to lead these people. These decisions, as barbaric as they are, like I don't know, they
And
need
you can
to be made.
and you can also, yeah, I mean, as like you said, as brutal as this scene is, the alternative is not killing them, and like you said, they would starve to death. So it's like there are two evils, but Oscalot is applying reasoning as to which one is less evil than
Correct.
the other. So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's you can
It makes perfect sense.
understand,
Of
yeah,
course.
but
Dude,
it's
like literally
brutal.
running the risk of having a freaking whistleblower just run to the adjacent town and then another town, and next thing you know, Tarkel is on us because I didn't kill everyone. I completely understand, man. It's just
Yeah,
yeah, but at the same time, bro, these people had hatred in their heart for the Danes, which is justifiable because you died by Danes. Oh my goodness, it's just, man, it's like, how's the whole going? Was like, it can take 62 people. Like,
right in front of them,
great.
man.
Oh my goodness, not even subtle, bro.
Didn't even whisper it. Just like they
Oh
both of them were like on opposite ends of the group of people. Like,
yeah.
damn, couldn't just walk over and whisper.
Little
Just,
whispered this, yeah, because there's kids here, man. There are infants here, man.
they don't care. They don't give a shit.
Oh, these people
Oh,
they're celibate, bro. They give zero fucks.
oh,
Celibate, zero fucks.
I did
Wait,
catch that.
this
I
is the
did
second
catch
time.
that.
Second, you did catch that, but thank you for saying you
Mm,
didn't. You're a good friend because I've said that already when we were freaking breaking down The Last of Us. But it is what it is. Um, but yeah, it's crazy shit, man. Crazy shit. It's oh my goodness, and of course, Anne watches them get slaughtered. Oh, and that's another thing. The death is not even like conjure up some like the most humane type of way you can let these people go. You know, it's like, oh, goodness,
oh, I don't think there's any other way they could have killed them more
that
quickly
could
than that.
be okay. Fire, that's actually painful. It's like
No,
that's
no,
painful. So
that's
that's actually
rough.
Christian. That's actually one of the roughest way to go because
Yeah,
your nerves are
yeah,
all on your like the end of your fucking skin. Like,
yeah.
no, that's some fucked up shit. Um, yeah, drown them. There was no let them freeze to death.
Nope.
That's a painful. Honestly, I don't know, man, bro. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. And of course, homegirl walked as far as she can away from these people, and she had one last prayer, bro. Why does such evil exist? How
Mm,
can you create men that can be so careless of your punishment? I stole a ring, bro. A ring. And it tormented me. Oh my goodness. Like it fucked up with my whole day. You know, it had me questioning if I'm going to hell, like my father was just saying, because I've done something bad. A freaking ring, bro. These men
mm,
just slaughtered 50 people effortlessly. Nobody resisted. Nobody hesitated. Oh my goodness.
mm,
Like, and she looked up, it's like, did my family make it up there? Like, was their death in vain, bro?
hmm.
This is-
Man, there. Okay. Oh, there's a lot
take it away.
here.
No, actually, take it away, man. It's, yeah, it is a lot, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. First, when she was having this dilemma about the ring, like she was, she did the cross, and then she was making like she was gonna throw the ring, but she was like, "Oh my god, it's so pretty." As soon as she made the decision to not throw away the ring, we see Oscalad show up. So it's kind of, you could interpret it as Oscalad showing up is a direct answer to your decision to not throw away the ring. So that's want to put a pin in that really quickly and then go back to this moment that you're talking about where after everyone was killed and she's looking up at God and she's saying, "Are you watching? Did my family make it over there?" And the way she said this, it was as if like you could see it as, did you call my family to be by your side because they didn't sin, yet I sinned because I stole the ring, and that's why you didn't call me to your side. So that's one angle that you can interpret what she's saying. Another angle could be that when she's like, God, are you watching? Did my mother, did my father, did my brother? She starts off very angry as she's saying it, as if she was gonna say, like, did my family deserve that? Did they deserve what just happened to them? But instead, she kind of she starts off angry, but then she concludes by saying, did they make it to the other side? So it's like, for a moment, I feel like she was about to waver and start to hate this God that just made her family go through that. And these two different ways of interpreting how she said this, it's there's just, I mean, it's not just two. I feel like there's multiple ways you could view this, because you could also see it from the perspective of like, okay, she had this small crime of stealing a ring, and because of that, she was punished so heavily by watching her family be massacred in front of her. Like, I think that she was gonna ask God, "Did my family deserve that?" But instead, she just switched it to saying, "Did they make it by your side?" and like left it on a more hopeful note. I don't know. Did you have any like kind of feeling about this last line that she said, or did you kind of just take it as her just being faithful and believing that God has a plan and that this is all according to His will? Like, how do you feel about that aspect?
Yeah, your first scenario is what I thought. You know how maybe she's soiled, maybe she is uncleansed. I don't want to say dirty because that sounds so weird because of the because of
Mm,
the sin that she committed by stealing, theft, stealing the ring. So therefore, in a moment, she's thinking, "Shit, this was not like not sparing, but this was punishment for what I've just done." And my family, in my eyes, they were loving people that didn't do anything wrong. So that's probably why you call them and they're with you. But I'm back here because I am a sinner. I'm the worst of all of them, and that's my punishment for what I did. Yeah, that's just the conclusion I drew. Like your first scenario, not the second one.
mm. And oh man, like the this episode, it directly contrasts the faith of the misfortunate and the lack of faith in the fortunate, and how drastically different the outcomes are for each group. There's so much here. There's so much here that's happening in like 20 minutes, right? I think that was the length of the episode. It is crazy how much they packed into this. It's oh man, what a beautiful episode.
It
That's a 10 out of
is.
10.
Honestly, bro. I mean, I thought this was a 10 out of 10, and then I get to the other ones, but it's sad. No, this yeah. Why did we do these six, man? This needs to be broken down. But yeah, yeah, yeah. And then of course, she's like, I feel elated now, and then she passes out. But yeah, it's just like funny enough, she woke up the next morning. I'm like, damn, I thought she would have frozen to death, but she did not. I don't know. Was that like a sign of hope, bro? Because she clenched to the snow, got up and looked up in the sunny skies. You know, sunny skies are like that's like a good. That's an omen basically of good things to come. So I'm like, is Homegirl surviving? I'm like, I don't know, but yeah,
Honestly, I thought that at first I thought she like jumped off a cliff and was committing
that's what I thought
suicide.
too. That's what I thought too. I feel like that would have been a
Oh,
that
that
would
would
have
have
been a
been
more realistic ending. But yeah,
uh
I think she had a
mm,
role to play when you get to the next episode. I think for some
oh
reason I
yeah.
think
She had a big role.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, she wakes up, and then she just look up. The episode's done. Thank
Mm-hmm.
God. All right.
So we've passed one, philosophical storm, but there's another one right on the horizon. So, so it's
Yeah, this was
but
too much.
all right. So episode 15. It's called After Yule. So okay. So we start off. We're seeing King Sween,
Mm-hmm.
Sween, being fed by a beautiful woman. He's told that Canute went missing and that they're uncertain of his whereabouts. So the king, he says his lack of talent most likely put him in this situation. Um, and if he was as talented as his brother, then maybe he wouldn't have been in this situation to begin with. And then as he's saying this, we catch a glimpse of his body. We see that he's riddled with these deep scars, which reveal a history of anguish and a lot of fighting. So the man we know has been through a lot just from how he looks physically. And he has like bags upon bags upon bags. Like this dude has been through a lot. And then we cut to Thorkel, and now I think winter is in full bloom for him as well. So he's like, no, it's winter. The war is ending. Fuck. And
Oh, it's like,
he's
yeah, he mentioned something. He's like, he said this can crush a warrior's soul or something. He said something. He said
yeah.
something along these lines.
Yeah. I think it was like crush a warrior soul or something to that effect.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, like immediately after though, once his brother is like, "Hey, what do you want for food?" and he's like, "I don't know," he's like, "Give me chicken or whatever he said." So he perks back up pretty quickly at the thought of food. And then we see that Thorkel's group is feasting. His brother tells him that King Sween will be recognized as the Bretwalda, which is a word for the ruler of Britain. So he said that King Sween is going to be recognized as the Bretwalda in Wessex, which signals a victory for Denmark in the war, because the nobility wanted to end the war, even if it meant surrendering the throne. Um, so then we cut to, I mean, and of course, Thorkel, he hates this news because that means the war is going to end and he can't
right.
fight anymore. So after that, we cut to the prince, Prince Canute, and Ragnar and the priest. So they're praying for the dead, the dead villagers from the previous episode, and they're asking the Lord for forgiveness. And the priest, he ends the prayer by saying, "Father, you created us in your image, yet you didn't give us your power. Father, if you love both good men and bad men equally, then why do you test us despite our powerlessness? Father, can you hear my voice? Our Father, I doubt your love." And then the prince, he just interrupts him. He's offended by what he just said about doubting the Father. And his faith uh, was being called into question by the one who is supposed to be a direct mediator with God. And the prince Canute, his reasoning that he gives for being upset is that every father loves his own child. So
Right.
by Canute saying this, by comparing the human relationship between parent and child, that provides Canute an avenue of reasoning that explains why the love of the Father in heaven should not be doubted, because it's the decree of Mother Nature that a father must love their child. However, he has many reasons to doubt the love of his human father, many subconscious reasons that he's pushed in the recesses of his brain. And if
Yeah.
there's room to doubt his human father's love, then there's room to doubt the love of the Father in heaven. Because again, in his mind, these ideas are inextricably linked. So,
Mm.
of course, when the priest, someone who again is supposed to be a direct channel to God, when he brings Canute's subconscious worries to light, it's painful. It's understandable why it'd be painful, and Canute reacts defensively.
Yeah. I want to
Mhm.
touch up on that real quick. I went on a whole like hypocrisy rant for The Last of Us. I don't remember. Yeah, yeah, it was with Tommy. I was like, oh yeah, he's a hypocrite. Um, I'm not gonna do this rant again. I sin, of course, we all do. But yeah, um, this guy is saying, how do you test us? I get that. Yes, we just witnessed a massacre, people that are powerless, but you're consuming the food that those people died for the prince and your guys to eat. So it's like, in a way, in every way, their death, which you're crying over, which as brutal as it was, you still had some interest. That death is a reason why there's food in your belly, which you're not saying no to, by the way. It's just, it's just I get what you're talking about, dude, but like you are partaking in what these people had. Why were these people killed? Wow, that is a loud motorcycle. I'm by my window. Like, yeah, why were these people killed? Because the lack of, I say, resources, lack of food to feed 104 soldiers and 50 villagers. So yeah, we're gonna have to kill them. Yes, you were against that, and we saw that. This guy tried warning them. I understand. This guy like pled, and they're Christians, like they're innocent. I get that, but like, yeah, you're eating though, bro. So it's like, I I don't know. I don't know. I know this is drastic, of course. This is like, but at the same time, like I can't, like I'm hearing myself make this point, and I can see how someone's like, dude, it's like, what are you talking about? People died, but yeah, people died, but you're still eating their food. You're still taking refuge in their homes, their old homes. Like the wounds are still fresh. There's still blood out there. Like the decors are still in those homes. Family pictures. There was no pictures back there, back then. But you're still taking full advantage of all these amenities that weren't yours less than 24 hours ago. You didn't partake in the killing. That's true, but you're reaping the benefits of said killing, and you're still questioning. Like I'm doubting God. Like, bitch, you're alive. You're I don't know, man. I don't know. This might be too harsh, bro. But
It's
yeah.
complicated. There's so many there's so many diverging paths that
Yeah.
can be taken with this
Yeah.
kind of topic. It's
No, that's
it's
true. That's
intense.
true. That's true. It's not black and white. But
Oh
yeah,
no.
go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Mhm. And yeah, so after that little heated sequence, we see that Anne, the girl who escaped in the last episode, she reached Thorkel and his men, and then she was the one who leaked where Askeladd's men were. So,
Mm.
in a
Wait, they didn't
way,
confirm, but did it confirm? That's the thing. I was gonna get to that.
yeah,
No, I couldn't. It's your episode. Yeah, but it's like, did they confirm it was her? Because I don't remember them saying a girl. Like I was waiting for like more. We know she was a sole survivor, but I was waiting for a more like a more clear proof. But still,
yep. So they showed like her. They showed the back of her head because she had that red hair, and she had I think like a coat over her because she was freezing, and they showed you very quickly that
huh?
she was the one who informed Thorkel of Askeladd's
Wow.
whereabouts. No.
Hmm.
So, in a way, the caution that made them kill the villagers, it failed, and they kind of just died for nothing. I mean, it was a
No.
gamble that Askeladd took, and
Yeah.
it wasn't 100% certain what the outcome would be. But
Well, well, Christian, they didn't die for nothing. They got the rest for the night. They got to not have to keep running for throughout a storm. It wasn't for nothing, bro. It delayed the plan, not delayed. It sped up the plan because the plan was to rest quite much more and build more sleds. But I don't think it was for nothing. I don't know. They achieved some things through that massacre, in my lenses, of course. But yeah,
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. But once the news reached Thorkel, he was already itching for action. So he told his men, "All right, get up, fellas. We're gonna go follow him." And of course, his goal is to prolong the war. So he has some kind of scheme he's concocting in his head.
yeah,
And then the focus we shift over to Askeladd's men. They find out from their scout that Thorkel is on the way. And there are rumblings throughout Askeladd's camp that Askeladd's good luck is ending. And since it's like this is the first time that his plans have been ruined since they've been with him, and then after that, we shift the focus on Thorfinn, Ragnar, and Canute. We see that Thorfinn still captures his own food, so he doesn't share the food that Askeladd's men acquire after all these years, which
right,
that's
right.
that's saying a lot. And
Yeah, he said that. Sorry.
mhm.
Go ahead. No, no, I
No,
was
no, you
gonna
go
take
ahead.
it to the last episode. Like he even said that when they identified him, he's like, "Are you one of his men?" He's like, "I'm not one of his soldiers. Like, what are you talking about?" I'm not one of his guys, bro. The hatred is so
Don't
like I
get
don't
it
understand how this
twisted.
kid. Right, I don't get how this kid balanced that because bro, you're a kid. Like, like how do you separate the two? I'm following this
Mhm.
man. I'm killing for this man, but it's solely so I can get revenge for my dad. And I never stray away from that notion, not even once. As we're looking still, like, yeah, we're getting through this, but like, dude, there's no blurred lines. It's been years, bro. Like,
Mhm.
and this man's a pretty cool leader. Like, you would think over time he would like develop like a fondness for him, like see him as like a father figure or like a mentor, which in a way we're seeing the homeboy slowly becoming. But to still have that mindset, like I'm not eating with y'all, like we're not friends. It's like, bro, it's been
Mhm.
years. The resilience is insane, man. But yeah, it's
Oh,
crazy stuff.
he's been simmering in that rage for so long because it's like
Bro,
almost every hour of the day. It's like it must be on his mind like all the time.
kill my
Like
dad. I'm gonna kill him.
yeah, imagine what that does to the human brain if you're
Right.
so obsessed with vengeance for that long.
Oh my goodness. This kid was robbed of his childhood, bro.
Yeah, and it's not like he was able to continue being educated. Like I don't know if they had some kind of
Yeah.
school system.
Right. Yeah.
So
A
it's
school
like
system. Bro, these
yeah,
men are bro, these men but Ascalon's educated AF. It's a fact. But yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, but yeah. So we get a bonding moment with the three of them. So Oscar or not Oscar, Ragnar, Canute, and Thorfinn. We see that the prince Canute he loves to cook. They break bread together and they share stories. One story was of Canute and how he brought a meal he cooked to his father. Yet his
Yeah.
father threw it away and told him that, don't act like that. You're not a slave. What are you doing? And as they were enjoying their meal, the dinner was interrupted by one of Askeladd's men telling them that Thorkel found them and that a battle was taking place somewhere on the west or in the west. And then they lured Ragnar into the forest where he'd eventually be betrayed and killed on Askeladd's order.
Yep.
And yeah, and Askeladd, he says to his face that his death will cause Canute to grow, and to ensure that he grows correctly, he would be taking Ragnar's place instead. And then Ragnar tells him to swear that he'll protect Canute, and then Askeladd he swears to protect Canute and that Ragnar's death won't be in vain, but he doesn't swear on his ancestors. And as we've seen in the show so far, when Askeladd swears on his ancestors, he keeps that promise. It's a
Yep.
way of boldening or strengthening
His
the
word.
words
Mm-hmm.
behind the promise. Yeah.
Facts.
So
Yep.
I think this one, it was just kind of, it was phony. But Ragnar, as he's dying, he tells Askeladd that there's a court in Jelling that's
Yes.
fighting over who will be the next king of Denmark, and
Mm-hmm.
that it's split into two factions. So one faction sides with Canute as the leader, the other faction sides with his brother Harold as the leader.
Yep.
Both sides don't care about the candidates. It's just a power struggle between the two factions. And the king decided to kill Canute in order to prevent a divided kingdom that would be caused by these two opposing factions. So we
Mm-hmm.
find out the reason that he made Canute face off against Thorkel at the Battle of the London Bridge was because he was supposed to die in battle, thus quelling any tension between the two sides, because it's like, okay, he died in battle, so we have to go with his brother Harold. So Ragnar
Um.
says that. Oh yeah, go ahead. Go.
No. No. Okay. Okay. Wait. Sorry. This is gonna be real quick.
Mm,
That's ironic because the plan was to capture this prince and bring him back to either the king of Denmark or the king of England. The king of England
yeah,
already fled. There was no way to find him because he left for France because he's dying. The king of Denmark, who don't even want the son anyway. So
he's damned the other
imagine
way.
like you would have had a prize in your hand that you can't cash.
Yeah,
Just, you would
yeah.
have ended up just killing this dude. Just, like, are you killing? Are you kidding me, bro? Like, I just made this journey to bring you to your dad, and your dad's like, no, thank you.
Yeah,
Just,
yeah, yeah. That's why Askeladd was kind of like, oh, why didn't you tell me this before?
all right.
He was stressing out. But yeah, so Ragnar, he says that Canute's real enemy is his father, and that Askeladd needs to be careful. And he advises Askeladd to go into exile and to speak to his brother. And then with his dying breath, he asks to say goodbye to Canute. And Askeladd, he's just like, nope. And
Dude.
then Ragnar passes, and then we move into episode 16.
All right. Did a lot happen here? Oh shit. Oh shit. A lot happened here. Damn. All right, episode 16, History of Beasts. So yeah, Ragnar's dead. Tragic. R.I.P. Rest in peace. Great guy. Yeah, homeboy comes in. Damn. I hate that even told Thorfinn can't tell that he's lying. That's just how good this man is, bro. This man can move a crowd to Askeladd is just wow. Like this character is beautiful. Literally, his character is just insane. We love to hate him. We hate to love him or something. I don't know what people
Both.
say.
Love to
Both,
hate him,
yeah.
hate to love him.
He's like, yeah, he was attacked by British soldiers. He laid his life for the prince. He died in battle. And Thorfinn, just so you know, now that's your responsibility to guard the prince. For Thorfinn, oh my goodness, bedside manners, which he never had, even as a little kid. I don't know if you remember. The dude was always like, the dude told Leaf, like, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about," like, just bro, like, and just ran away and stuff. So like, yeah, I'm always like, I'm not doing this. Like, what? Oh my goodness! And of course, Canute get to like mourn a bit. Dude, the food is cold. We're just eating, bro. And then Bjorn, his right hand man, like, what if people find out? Like, nah, they'll just know the British did it, which is cool because hey, we're at war with the British anyway. And furthermore, Ragnar made him weak, and then so because of that, he needed to go. And Jordan's like, but that's good though, because he's weak, we can control him easily. And then, just like the scene when he told Thor's, "You should lead us." He's
Yeah.
like, I believe in this Lord. My Lord must be the type of man that makes me want to serve him. That's the Lord I
Yeah.
believe him. That's Canute. And Bjorn is like,
And also the way he ends off that sentence, he's like, just kidding. The exact
yeah,
same thing he said to Thor's. It's the
exact
exact
same
same
thing you say
thing.
to Thor's, bro. Oh, the mind games this dude knows he can play with his guys. Oh, it's insane. But no, Bajorn is, bro. And you want that as a right hand man, man. Oh my goodness. What
Yeah,
a
he's
loyal
loyal.
servant,
Mm.
bro. He's like, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, bro. And Bajorn, more questions. What if he doesn't recover from this? What if this, because he's already like, we see him as this feeble guy. What if this just weakens him to the craziest point that he just drops in this level of depression that we can't pull him out of? He's like, well, if it comes to that, then I'll just abandon him. Like, wow, okay. And then Askeladd gets summoned because they captured an English captain. Oh my goodness. I have never seen someone so. I've never seen someone follow a plan to such a crazy extent. Also, there's hate in that, which is fueling this resilience to not to hold out perfectly for what I'm here to do. Okay, yeah, I'm going ahead in this scene. All right, let me retrace back. Great, they capture the English captain. They're trying to get this man to talk as much as they can, dude. Oh my goodness, nothing is working. Askeladd comes in, like, hey guys, doing it wrong. It's all good. Go get the shears. He kneels down. He tells homeboy, "You're holding out. That's great. I just want to know three things. How many reinforcements do you have? How long are they going to take for it to get to us? And how the fuck did you find out we're even here?" Homeboy's like, "I'm not telling you Dane's shit." He's like, okay. They get the shears. He's like, "Hey, your fingers."
Huh,
I don't know
they're
what.
looking
Oh,
pretty
Christian, I'm
long.
telling you, it's just. I'm not like righteous. I'm not Captain America, unfortunately. The Marvel people know homeboy always does what's right. Anyway, I'm not Daredevil. The Marvel people will know again. Like, oh my goodness, this man doesn't let us pass to find him. Like, oh, Matthew Murdock's just a saint. So I sin. I said that already. I get it, but I hate myself sometimes that I like this man so much. And this is just anime, bro. I'm just like,
No,
oh.
this is
I'm
beyond
like, how do
anime.
I? I'm
This is
like,
a
how do
great
I?
ass
Why do I like
story.
this man? This dude is. Oh, some of the things this dude has done in the show, bro. It's just like you enjoy this so much. This is like Ramsey Bolton, like, bro. Like this. That's one thing to torture someone, but to be serious at doing it because it must be done. But it's another to take pleasure in it, to like bask it in, to just. It's like, oh, your fingers. It's like, oh, but I get it. It's like, oh, a freaking like you Danes, like you kill my wife, my daughter. You guys are beasts. He's like, beast, bro. You calling me a beast? Well, you're ignorant. Oof. And then he gets to the history lesson, which back to loving Askeladd. This man, the knowledge that this man has, bro, the swordmanship, the leadership traits, the intelligence, the tactics. Because we've seen Homeboy drop some crazy plans. The French are fighting against each other. We're going to side the attackers. Go tell them this. There's only 100 of us. We're going to make a diversion and throw some fire in the forest so none of them can identify each other. And then Thorfinn, you're going to come in and get the prince. This is happening. We're going to do that. Dude, this man is Bobby Axelrod, bro. This is
He's smart.
for
He's
the
cunning.
people that watch his billions. But yeah, crazy shit. No, fuck that. This dude's Mike Prince. Anyway, but it is what it is. But yeah, let me give you history lessons. The Celts were here first, just so you know. They
Mm-hmm.
were cool. They believed in nature. They were not as advanced as you guys were, but they had their gods and they were very in tune with like nature and things like that. Like it's cool. They bonded with animals, whatnot. The Romans came in. The Romans share their technology with them, share their culture with them, and then the Romans left. Now I don't know if it went down that way because that sounded like such a docile docile
Interaction.
um, interaction, which history is normally very violent. Like it's all about like conquering. So I don't know if that's how it went down, but in this anime, from his perspective, that's how it did. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. The Romans just strengthened these people, give them knowledge and technology, and left. I'm like, oh, that's dope. He's like, and then you guys, the Anglos and the Saxons, y'all came in 500 years ago. You're calling me beast. You literally drew these people out of their land, killed some of them, but basically wiped them out and took their land. that now you're claiming that's yours. So, no, if I'm a beast, you, my friend, are a beast. And what we're doing to you is what you did to them. Just a bit more. What the adjective or the verb? What's he said? What you did to him is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do, but like more
Yeah,
painful. Or
they said that the Saxons stole the land with violence, and the
right,
Danes are stealing it from
yeah,
them with
with
even
more
greater
violence,
violence.
with even greater
Such a
violence. Oh my
dope
goodness,
line.
right?
Love that line.
It's like, bitch, we're just repeating what you did, bro. Just say, man,
But more.
yeah, but more, bro. You signed up for this, man. Like, it's time. Like don't be slipping out of the bill, bro. Yeah, you better sit through this. And then
Mm.
story time is done. Ear comes in. Oof, Ear, bro. I just mentioned Bobby Axelrod. You know how Bobby and Billions, Bobby's team is just, everyone is just so uniquely gifted with literally like unique skills. Like Rags can fucking talk anyone out. Like Wendy's a freaking crazy psychologist that can just bend you to her will. Wendy's a freaking cordyceps, bro. You got freaking you got the guy, I forgot the guy's name, that does all the dirty work for him. But anyway, I like how Axelrod, ask Bobby Axelrod. I like how Askeladd has
Axelrod, Askeladd,
right. Yeah, that's kind of crazy
connection.
actually. Yeah, I like how Askeladd has like people in his group that have specific traits too. For him, it's more limited. I think it's just Bjorn. No, but it's Bjorn that is right hand man. It's Thorfinn, the guy who does all the in front action, and it's Ear. Ear is literally his ears in the ground for miles away. It's just like Ear comes in, and Ear's like, hey, some people are coming. They're coming from the south. And then he's like, wait, that's strange. England wouldn't be attacking at night. And that's when homeboys start laughing. It's like, oh, you're about to see some shit. Thorkel's coming. You're about to be killed by Danes. Great. I'm freaking pumped. I'm here for it. And that's what I mentioned in the beginning. I'm like, this man held out through immense torture just so this plan can go to perfection. Because if he blows the whistle and let them know and crack, fuck, you got me. I can't endure this no more. I'm sent here just to make time pass because Danes are coming. But this man actually held out. That's insane, Christian. But at the same time, show you the hatred for these people. Like, I'll go through pain to make sure this plan goes to perfection. They're going to be torturing me for hours. And then Askeladd's going to come and have his way too, bro. And I'm not going to crack. I'm going to wait. Just
Crazy.
dude, that's bro, that's insane. That's another kind of, I don't even know, man. I don't even know. Crazy shit. But yeah, of course, Torkel comes in. Surrounds the town. And then, of course, he kills everyone, kill everyone, but the prince and Thorfinn. That's pretty dope. And of course, like, bitch, we gotta get the fuck out. We gotta leave here. And then, homegirl's still grieving. Homegirl, that's a guy, the prince. Canute's still grieving. Ragnar just died. It's like, no, I can't go. Stop. And Askeladd just, ooh, bro, he just disciplines homeboy. Like, wow.
Is it a backhand slap or I don't remember?
Honestly, bro, I don't even remember. He just did it with such. There's just this suave about him, bro. This, it's like, oh man, that's man. Like, just so you know, bro, Ragnar's not coming back. Like, he's dead. All right, Ragnar's fucking dead. We gotta go. He can't hear you. Oh my goodness. And Askeladd's like, he tells the men, if you want to leave now, leave. If not, march. Let's go. They're right on us, so we gotta keep walking. You gotta walk while you eat. You gotta walk while you sleep. We gotta keep freaking walking. And they're walking. Of course. Next day, because it was actually a journey. It's funny because Thorkel was looking at the town from afar at that night. He got to the town the next morning. And some guys actually stayed back, bro. It's just
Yeah.
like, what do you expect, bro? The thing is, they don't really know Torkel that well. They really don't know Torkel that well. Be like, yeah, maybe spare my life if I stay back. He's like, almost like, I don't like cowards, bro. Kill all of them. Oh my goodness. Oh man. And they're like, great, kill them. We're moving to the east. We're chasing the prince. Give everything you got. And I was like, oh, that's a cool kind of thing. Thorkel out here being the leader and shit because he is. He's the captain. And then, of course, after days, I'm assuming, of walking, is January 1014 AD, and they're in some river. I think it's like Earldom of Mercia. Yeah, they cross the bridge, and Askeladd's like, you know what, bro? Destroy it. Destroy the bridge. English not my first language, but yeah. And there are suspicions. He sent two guys. He sent two guys to do the destroying, to cut the bridge. And they're like, hey man, shit, homeboy is at the end of his road, bro. It's like why don't we just take the prince? There's a lot of us that are already like saying he's been freaking making bad decisions after bad decisions, and we literally it's his time to go. We can't keep following this man. The brother's like, it's betrayal. I was like, no, it's not betrayal. He did a good job, but he's just been off lately, and he's been making all the wrong calls. And I'm like, making all the wrong calls. I'm like, what the fuck is homeboy talking about? Like, are we not watching the same show? Like, what has Askeladd done that's been the wrong call? I'm not for the killing, but it's like it's like I understood why it was done, and like, what wrong call has he made? In my eyes, I didn't see it.
Well, I think the I don't think they know exactly why they were caught or how Thorkel found out, but they knew that Askeladd was supposed to have a plan that made it so that they wouldn't be found out by Thorkel.
Yeah, but at the same time, Christian, I can reason. I was there. I was there when everyone was rallied. I was there when I'm accountable for letting someone slip out too, because he told me as a leader, get everyone here in a circle. It's like I know I understand both sides. I'm more of a practical person. So in that moment, I wouldn't be able to understand why I'm blaming this man, because this was a team effort. I understood his plan. Someone sneaked out, but it's not all on him. We had to take shelter because there was a fucking snowstorm. But I get it, bro.
Well, they're not the smartest guys in the world. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, it's bridge destroyed, and then Askeladd, the two men that he trusted most. I'm mad at Ear wasn't a part of this conversation. But it was like,
yeah, right. What happened to Ear?
Right? Yeah, what happened to Ear, bro? He get Bjorn and Thorfinn. Like, listen, this man, his wisdom, his years, bro. Oh, ripping the teeth in the back of his mouth is the closest we'll get to his wisdom. I can't take credit for that. That's NF. That's NF from Clouds. Yes, we love NF. But yeah, this man is so wise, bro. It's like, I have a thing for basically discerning good, bad, worthless men. And I can sense a division coming. So, Bjorn, new task. Stick with you're going to be the one driving. Switch the prince from the carriage that he's on to another carriage. Isn't carriage the word they use? Sled you be the one driving that sled, and Thorfinn, stay with the prince. Please. Oh my goodness. No, he didn't say please. I added please. Yeah, he doesn't say please. Oh man. Bro. And then bridge is destroyed. Hooray. And the guy's like, hey, they're here anyway. He's like, well, this will slow them down. And of course, Askeladd, he's like, well, it's not destroyed in vain. They're going to have to make a decision to leave the cargo and keep going. And if they do leave the cargo and keep going, chasing us, they're probably going to last a day most, because they got to eat. With no food and no civilization for days, because we're fucking just walking on land right now. Land after land is all we're seeing. Yeah, so for that reason, destroying that bridge is the best tactic. And great. Of course, as he's done saying all that, he's like, all right, resume the march. The march didn't get resumed. They were about to start walking, of course, and Thorkel caught up.
Yep.
Thorkel caught up, and this man threw a spear that knocked out 4 guys. Oh my goodness. Askeladd, again, that's another thing I like about him too, dude. He doesn't believe in the fairy tale shit. Like, listen, fuckers, we can't beat him. So we have to keep moving. just, and the guy's like, Like, what if they leave their cargo and chase us? He's like, you repeat the same shit again. They leave the cargo, they won't be able to make it. They'll starve themselves to death. And it's like, how do you know? How do you know they won't be able to survive one more day? Dude's like, all right, I don't got time for you to shit, bro. I'm literally in a hurry here. I gotta go. So, y'all, goodbye. I'm in a hurry. I'm going. And homeboy's like, you're not going anywhere. Oh, man. And the circle around Askeladd, Thorfinn, the prince, Bjorn, and the priest. And Thorkel sees it from afar. He doesn't see it. He's like, wait, they're stopping. It looks like they're fighting among themselves. Oh no, not yet, not yet, not yet. That he just yes. He's like, they're fighting. It looks like they're fighting among themselves. He's like, He smile and he keeps wait. Am I getting the scenes wrong? What scene did he say don't start the fight without me? Is that episode 17?
So yeah, I think so.
I think so. Yeah, okay. So for this episode, for episode 16, he looking forward, like it looks like they're stopping. He smiled and said, all right, keep marching. And he keeps marching with this guys. Episode 16 ends.
All right. Episode 17 called Servant. So, yup, the distrust towards Askeladd, it was brewing in the last episode. It came to a boiling point, and they surrounded Askeladd and the few who still followed him. So Thorfinn, Bjorn, the prince, and the priest. They don't want to kill Askeladd, so they ask him if he'll just leave the prince. And then we get the intro. And then after the intro, we get a glimpse into Askeladd's past. Specifically, a moment in his past where his mother tells him a story of a place called Avalon, which she says is another name for heaven. And their ancestor, Artorius, is over there in Avalon. He's resting his battle wounds. And once he's healed, he'll come back to save them from their suffering. So, in the way that she describes Avalon as like a place that's far across the great sea to the west, where fairies live, a place that's free from suffering, from death, from old age, the way that she describes it is reminiscent of how they describe Vinland in the previous episodes. And like we talked about in our previous podcast episodes, like we mentioned how these promised Neverlands, they all represent hope. So this is just another variation of that hope being represented. Correct. And she tells Askeladd that once he comes back, make sure to serve him because he is the true king. He is a true warrior. And Askeladd, he knows that this story isn't true, but this whole time he was looking for a man who could be his quote-unquote Artorius, just like Thor's, for example. So, but after so long, he decided instead of looking for a man who could be my Artorius, let me make a man into Artorius. Let me make a person into somebody that I could follow. Hence why hence his adhesion to Canute. That's exactly what he's doing. Canute is a blank slate. He's still very impressionable, and he can easily be influenced if the right person is doing it. And who better to influence an impressionable kid than the guy who's been influencing Thorfinn this whole time?
Yeah.
But so back in the present, Askeladd, he says he wants to talk with all the people that are surrounding him before they start. And he starts off the speech. It's all nostalgic. He's saying, guys, we've laughed together. We've drank together. We've made it through this hell together. But I hate you motherfuckers. Oh, you don't believe me? Oh, watch this. And then he just beheads two people at once. And then the fight commences. Thorfinn, Bjorn, the prince, and the priest. He tells them to escape, and then Askeladd will be left to handle the rest. Thorkel notices from afar, this is what you were saying, that they're fighting amongst each other,
Yeah.
and he gets upset because they started without him, and then he like
Right.
impatiently stomps his way over there. It's pretty funny the way he did that. And Bjorn's group, they crash because of a collision with the deserters. And then Thorfinn, he noticed that Askeladd was taking too long to catch up to them. So he rushes after Askeladd to make sure nobody kills him, except because, you know, he wants to kill Askeladd. And Bjorn, he eats a berserker mushroom, just like he did with Thor's. So we know that he's about to go Hulk on the people, the traitors surrounding him. And then we cut back to Askeladd. We see he's still holding his own, but he's getting tired. Someone strikes him in the back. He loses his cool, and he splits the guy in half. Like, he literally just cuts a clean line down the middle.
Yep.
Which is quite a display of power, to say the least. He's ridiculous. He's a monster. Be able to do something like that with a random ass blade.
Seriously.
But he catches himself, like he reels himself back in. He regrets losing his temper, and then he apologizes to everyone that he's in the middle of killing. Mm-hmm. And he says, "Sorry, everyone. I didn't mean that. I'm not mad anymore. Let's start over." This is going to be explained in another episode, but this is a very unique characteristic of Askeladd that I love. But he will touch on why he said this later. But yeah, they surrounded him with arrows pointed. So at this point, it's like they kind of have him. His back is against the wall, metaphorically. And Askeladd tries one more effort to escape the situation by explaining to him the benefit in keeping him alive. But it doesn't work. And they fire arrows at him, though none of them hit his vital spots because he has this really thick armor on. And then the big guy, one of the brothers, he's the one that's leading this rebellion. So he confronts Askeladd and Askeladd says, "I'm already old. I don't have a lot of time left where I can still work. I just couldn't wait anymore for the true king to return from Avalon." And this is more proof for what I mentioned earlier, which is that Askeladd decided to make a man worth following him out of Canute because he's in his age of twilight, just like they mentioned in episode 10. So Thorfinn, he notices he's on the ropes, or he noticed he was on the ropes, and he's still rushing forward. And then now we see that Thorkel is about 20 feet away from Askeladd. So they are there. They're no longer trailing behind. And then the traitors, they go up to surrender to Thorkel, thinking that he's a reasonable guy. If we convince him that we can present him some kind of value, he'll understand. But all these words, Thorkel, he just unimpressed him. He didn't like what he was hearing. And he takes in the situation.
Yeah. Sorry,
he did not like what he was hearing.
Didn't like what he was seeing too. As he empty hands, weapons on the floor. He's like, "What is the fuck?" Because some cowards.
Yeah, he takes in the whole situation. He gathers all the context, and then he goes from looking unimpressed to looking unimpressed and disappointed. And then Thorkel, he's just ignoring all these words that are being tossed at him, and then he walks over to Askeladd, and he crouches down, intimidating ass, the glare that he gives Askeladd. And then he asks him where Thorfinn is. He's relieved to find out that Thorfinn is alive, and then he tells his men to kill everyone except Askeladd, which, instant despair for everybody except Askeladd. surely. And a fight breaks out. A very one-sided fight breaks out.
Right? Is that even a fight?
No, it's not a fight. It's a massacre.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
and then Thorkel, his opponent is gonna be the big guy, the brother. It was pretty funny.
Torgrim?
Yeah. Thorgrim. His name is he also has Thor in his name?
Yeah, Torgrim. Yeah, Torgrim.
Okay, so it's different than Thor.
But oh yeah, it's not the TH, it's just TO. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And yeah, Thorkel, he's just man, he breaks the spirit of the big guy. Like he's warming up, all happy, ready to slice his head off. And then he tells him to make sure that he doesn't misconstrue the situation or get anything wrong. He's like,
"You're dying.
You're gonna die now." Like, I want to emphasize that you are going to die by my hand, without a doubt. So die while fighting, okay? And and then he just snaps. The pressure is too much. He was gone mentally. And then we see Thorfinn. He arrives screaming. Of course, Thorkel, he's excited. He's greeting him like a friend he hasn't seen in a long time. And then he punches the shit out of the horse that Thorfinn was riding on.
Bro, how do you not see that too? Because he's so fixated on Askeladd. You know, he doesn't even see Torkel. He's running straight to take Askeladd out of there. Like, nobody, don't kill him. Like, he's not even looking at Torkel. Because he's literally like running. He's on the horse, riding fast to get the Askeladd. I'm like, how do you not even see this giant that just hit you? How do you miss this guy?
You know, it's Thorfinn. I believe it.
Right? He's just unilateral, bro. He's only here for Askeladd.
Yeah, and then, then a duel over who will keep Askeladd starts. The stage is set for Thorkel versus Thorfinn round 2. And then we move on to episode 18. Very philosophical one.
Philosophical seamstress speaking on a biblical Fibonacci sequence. All right, that's Royce the 5'9". Royce the 5'9", LA Leakers. Fire. I'm really digressing hard, but anyway, I can't not mention this. He said, whoa, why am I just got a brain freaking, what's the word when something just got out of your head? That's so weird. Royce also said, that's so weird. Christian, I can't move on with episode 18 without remembering this. Royce said, in the mind of white folks with cognitive dissonance is the most compromised place for blacks to be. Okay. All right. That's it.
Got racial.
It got racial real quick. But LA Leakers, Royce the 5'9", check it out. Amazing. But yeah, episode 18, Out of the Cradle. Fight, of course. Out of the Cradle. Oh my goodness, they're babies. Fight. The fight is going off. The tactics, which I mentioned I enjoy, right? Because these men are so skilled that what they're doing is so second nature that they have time to think, to strategize. He's like, all right, I just got to keep dodging him. Okay, I just got to keep going. Make sure to stay far, but not too far, because I've made that mistake before. It's like, yes, I'm not to make sure that as long as I stay on my toes and give him that distance and get some hits here and there, I'll be perfect. Oh shit, I'm not getting any of my hits. He's wearing some chainmail underneath, which for someone who Thorkel is, I thought he was going to take that off from the beginning. Because, I mean, Thorkel is not someone with malice that's like, hey, let me have an advantage. He's clearly a warrior. The dude's like, I want this fight. So I thought he would actually not be covered with this armor, like, for the majority of the fight. But anyway, it was cold out, and his blood was not... Also, he was cold. Yeah, because it was cold out. He was not, like, hot enough to want to remove that protective coat. But yeah, and he didn't have any warm-up. Like, the guys didn't make it hard for him to kill them. So he was still cold. So I understand. Yeah, you're like, holy shit. His guys are like, damn, this actually might turn out to be a good fight. This kid is actually fighting. Oh, he's like, and this stopped me with the fight. He's like, well, wow, son of Thor. She's like, how did you know my dad? Um, he's like, yeah, your dad never mentioned me. That's how cold of him. He can be such a big baby, bro. Oh my goodness. I want a friend like Thorkel, bro. That's insane. Almost remind me of like a Lenny of Mice and Men, but just way, way better, of course. Just some things he say, like, oh, the cold, just kill a warrior's heart. Or your dad didn't mention me? That's so cold. That's hilarious, bro. He's like, yeah, my dad was of noble origin. He was a descendant of Jaws. Like, nope, your mom, Helga, was the one. Like, Thor just made it through the ranks, bro. He was that skilled that he just leveled up and up until he got to become, like, the captain. Thorfinn's like, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, shit. He's like, well, if you want me to talk more, to educate you on your dad, to give you a history lesson, because you obviously don't know a lot about his past, I can do that, but you gotta entertain me, though. Thorfinn, bro. He's never been witty. That's so Ellie like Ellie, Last of Us, that we just broke down freaking a few weeks ago. Like, he's like, well, it's gonna be hard to hold back enough to make sure you can still talk. It's like, bro, this man just said that to Goliath, bro. Like, are you kidding me? Like,
He's
oh my goodness.
confident.
Bro, but I love that Thorkel took him serious because this is an actual opponent. This man has been
Respect.
fighting wimps and losers for so long that he's been longing for that fight. Oh, like he hit one of his guys. It's nice, right? He doesn't kill his own men. I like that. He's not as tyrannical as like I
Oh,
don't know. That's
he
cool. I
killed him
probably
though.
he didn't kill him. It
Yeah.
didn't slice. It didn't slice. Do you see blood? It hit his head. He hit the wood part. The guy might be dead. I didn't see the guy ever again, but it was in the knife portion. It was the wood because you saw blood in it. His axe. But yeah, if the guy was dead, the guy might have been dead because Homeboy's freaking, like, his strength is insane. But yeah,
Mm,
I guess Homeboy's dead. um,
mm,
yeah, so Thorkel's like, I take this seriously, prove me that you're Thor's son. And then they take us back to the prince. Bjorn is freaking.
mm.
He had that berserker mushroom, is killing people, and of course, I like how he voluntarily got himself into this lucid dream. Normally, you get conveyed into that, like if you're like half asleep, but he is awake. He can hear, and he's like, "Wait, I can hear it. If I just play dead, if I just stay here," and that transported him into this different realm. Like these things don't normally happen in your control. Only if you're freaking Aaron, Attack on Titan, and you freaking, I brought you here just to discuss that. There's no discussion.
No, wait. That was a crazy line though. I'll admit.
Wait, is that a spoiler? That can't be a spoiler. That's nobody know what I'm talking about. If you didn't watch it, you're like, what did you just say? But anyway, the people who watch Attack on Titan exactly. Like, as in, you can be drawn into a different realm, but not voluntarily step in. But I just love the fact that he was able to do that. And of course, in there,
Mm,
Ragnar's style. Oh my goodness. Ragnar's like, I failed to raise you as a Jarl. So I'm assuming Jarl, just because I mentioned like Thor, my dad was a Jarl. Thorfinn said Jarl just mean, I guess, royalty or just kingdom related, just royalty, I guess. I don't know. That's what I'm taking it because
I
whenever
have
they
no
mention it,
idea.
no, because he said Thor's told Thorkel, my dad was of noble origin, descendant of a Jarl, and
Mm,
Thorkel responded, "No, Elga was the one that was her family was of a Jarl." And then, like I mentioned, Ragnar told the prince, "I failed to raise you as a Jarl." From the context, from how that word is mentioned, thrown into those sentences, it just means like
hmm.
royalty to me. That's what I'm taking it. Yeah. He said, I failed to raise you as a Jarl. Instead, I rose you like a normal kid, and that's on me. Like I had a duty from the king to do it that way, and I didn't. And but he's like, of course, no, like you understood me. You understood my feelings better than my father. I would never wanted to be born in this royal family anyway. Like, I should have been your son. Like things would have been so much better if I was your son. Oh my goodness. And then Jude, he freaking weeps, and Ragnar weeps too. And he's like, he said something like, it's when you've finally lost that you can get the sense of clarity. Like loss has a way of opening people's eyes, and then he fades away, and the prince wakes up. Bro. And the priest tells him, hey, wait, before that, do you want to add anything?
Oh no, I will add on to what we're gonna talk about next. Let's.
He wakes up and the priest's like, yeah, these dudes are fighting for you and shit. So it was great. He's like, you try stopping him? He's like, bro, are you kidding me? Like, no. The fuck? What are you talking about? You have to wait. Wait for whoever's the last one to die, and then yeah, and that one will win the prize, which is like they get to take you. And she said, I just had a dream about Ragnar. He's dead. There's no one who loves me anymore in this world. Bro, this man's about to drop some knowledge for free. He said, do you think Ragnar loved you? He said, yes. He said, well, do you think he loved you? Or it was just his duty to keep you safe? If he loved you, he watched 62 innocent villagers die. How is that love? He didn't get to it. They flipped back to the battle. Of course, as I could say, it's not easy. They flip back to the battle. There's Thorkel's soldiers. They're hearing Thorkel fighting, and they're looking through boots. And dude, they drop one of the lines that's so dope. Like, oh, these guys are whining. It's not easy to find strong opponents. We're never gonna get the Valhalla. Valhalla, like I mentioned, they mentioned too when Thorfinn was playing in episode 1 with his kid. They died in the game to get to make it to Valhalla. If you die in a battlefield, when Thorkel was talking with Ragnar when they held him captive, he's like, "Oh, you're just a big baby." He's like, "You know what you're talking about? It'd be an honor to die in the battlefield, to be welcomed in the gates of heaven by Valkyries to get to Valhalla." These guys are basically saying, "We're never going to get to die in the battlefield." It's just to show you the lack of cowardice in Thorkel's crew. Like, it's insane, man. His soldiers are longing for a meaningful battle so they can die like a soldier. he's like, oh, at this rate, we're never going to make it to Valhalla. I'm like, damn, these motherfuckers are actually sad. And the guys are like, oh shit, this fight is still going on. Bro, and Thorkel even acknowledges the opponent as a good one. He's like, I don't even have 5 men who'd match you. Like, bro, 5 men, bro. And he has good warriors because his guys are not dying so far. like he's retained solid numbers. Like, he's been losing few men.
That's true.
Yeah, it's oh man, crazy shit. But he's like, hey, you're a good warrior, but your swordmanship is average. It means you're still missing something. And Thorfinn's like, well, you must be missing something too, because I'm still here. And he's like, yeah, that is true. I am missing something. And he said, so Thorfinn, what does it mean to you? What does it mean to be a true warrior? Oh, and then Thor's freaking, and they show you an image of Thor's, bro. This man was too perfect, bro. And then they take us back to the prince. If Ragnar didn't love me, who can embody love correctly? Canute asked the priest. And the priest's answer, he's like, look over there, a dead soldier. Look over that corpse. That man is love. He's love itself. He'll never hate. He'll never steal. He'll generously give his body to animals. He won't complain.
He's digging deep. The author was in his bag in this one.
Oh, death perfects a person, bro. That's beautiful writing, man. Oh my goodness. And to show us Thor's. Because what did Thor's do? Thor's lay down his life, bro, for his crew, for his village. Like, Thor's literally to have his village escape the wrath of the king of the Jums Viking, to take my head, an act of generosity. Like, to spare his village, he took 5 guys with him specifically with the plan to dump them somewhere so Leif can bring them back so he can go by himself. This man was selfless, bro. Like, the way they show his image at that last one, which I'm freaking gonna bookmark somewhere. Like, I'm gonna ride with this quote for a long time. That death perfects a person. Oh my goodness. Because you become sinless. You become pure. You become generous, bro. You become hate is no longer there. All of the things that are rotten within us coincide with the fact that we're alive for them to build up, for them to grow, for them to develop. Like once that breath, once that spirit, once that soul exits the shell, you're back to the perfect thing that you were meant to be. I guess. It's just, oh,
Mm.
and then of course the prince is asking good ass question. The prince like, you're talking about death, so you're saying death is the essence of love? The priest said yes, and he said, Canute, well, what about a husband who cares for a wife? Parents who care for their kids? Ragnar, how he cared for me. This man said, it's discrimination,
Mm.
bro.
Mm.
Oh my goodness.
It's deep.
Yo.
It goes deep.
Ooh. And to hit him with the freaking hypocrisy line, which I play that line so much, it's no different from fawning over a king while hitting a slave with a whip. Bro. Literally, man. That's discrimination, man. that's favoritism. Like, that's not love. Oh my goodness. To him, you are the most important person in this world. He probably put you ahead of his life. This is why he cherished you. This is why he held you to such standards. Like, this was not love. Oof. And then she let it, bro, I keep seeing the long hair and curly eyebrows. He, he let all that sink in, and he said, I'm understanding now. The fog has lifted. Oof.
Mm.
And then she's going to get in this conversation that almost mirrors parallel to what Anne was saying.
So wait. Before you
Mm-hmm.
move on to that part,
Yeah.
what if you were to try to put it into words? What is the priest's? Well, I'll say what I think, but I want to hear what you think first. What is the priest's definition of love? What do you think?
Just unbiased and uh, basically all the qualities. Like there's fairness, there's generosity, unbiasedness. I wouldn't say quiet because you said you're not going to complain. There's no hate, just pure. Actually, like pure. There's a pure vessel. I guess. Uh, yeah. From what he said, and that's what I think I'll say. Like love is just pure. Love is just immaculate. Love is just clean. Love is just yeah. I'll just say that. From what he said, that's how I took it. Yeah.
Mm, okay. So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to capture with a little more. I'm gonna try to capture like how I envision he's talking about this. It's hard.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try to be as specific as possible. So I think his definition of love embodies two concepts. It embodies enlightenment via an ability to unconditionally view and treat everything equally. So, similar to what you were saying about being biased. And that's why when one person claims to love another by his specific definition of love, it's considered discrimination because they're not treating everything as equal. And everything, in this case, it includes the elements that make up reality. Because it is a very profound idea that is being detangled here. And it's hard to put into words, but conceptually, I think it bumps shoulders with the Buddhist definition of nirvana, which is a state that transcends ignorance, attachment, and desires. It's a state of peace where the self is extinguished. So when Canute, he starts to understand this definition of love that the priest has, he sees that Mother Nature is the embodiment of this version of love because it never discriminates in what it does. Everything everything as a process of Mother Nature goes through a cycle where it eventually becomes part of Mother Nature once again, which ultimately gives birth to future cycles. So
Right.
everything eventually becomes part of the earth, the wind, the snow, the fog, the mountains, the universe, and then it's all recycled again. And death, for an organic creature like a human, represents the start of a new cycle, and death for an inorganic object would be something like decay. But both deaths represent the start of a new cycle while simultaneously representing the completion of another cycle. And it's like an all for one mentality. That's how I'm seeing this, dude. That's how I'm seeing it.
Yeah. I did not go that far, but yeah, I
It
see.
runs
Yeah,
deep.
of
It
course.
runs
And
deep.
the corpse example, yeah, I would decays over time, and yes, how it's serving to feed the animals, like you said, like it's serving to what it became like manure at one point. What was the last stage of decomposition? Decomposition, bro. Yo, this language is fighting me, man. As it was decomposing, yeah, as it the last thing when they show you the butterflies, I don't remember what the priest said, but yeah, I understand your logic. Did not take it that way at all, but that's another great aspect of beautiful storytelling. It can be interpreted in so many different ways. Like there's just this is just beautiful. This episode, bro, this episode was too much.
Yeah,
But
there are
yeah,
countless ways to interpret this. So
this
many
is
ways.
true. This is true. So yeah, and she said, "Okay." He said, "The fog is lifted. I can understand now. I see the snow has left, the sun, the wind, the mountain. But then, if God created so many beautiful things, why is there no love in the hearts of men?"
Mm.
Bro, and then the priest said, I'm biblical. They say our ancestors committed a sin. They show us the bitten apple,
Yeah,
bro.
that was awesome. That was awesome.
Which expelled us from paradise, turning us into monsters, bro. But see, oh my goodness. Yes, they committed a sin. Right. Oh man. Turning us into monsters. And what did that sin unlock? Fucking free will, bro. But crazy shit. Oh man. Back to the fight. Back to the fight. Thorfinn is landing some cuts, but bro, they're all too shallow. It's like, and Thorkell's like, that's pretty cool. It's like, okay, so let me finally take this down. He took it down. We see some cuts. He actually did get cut, but of course they weren't that deep. And Thorfinn make a quick attack. It wasn't quick, just a speedy, just head-on attack. And Thorkel just uses axe, blew the snow, and kicked this man, this kid. Yo, this kid flew. But of course, he used his knees to soften the blow, which Thorkel's like, that's a nice touch. He blocked with his legs. And Askeladd's like, oh my goodness, all hope is lost. Which was a nice scene to show you how much he relies on Thorfinn, because Thorfinn has been able to get him some impossible task throughout this first season, throughout the time they've been together. It's been go get a captain, go get the head of this guy, go to a general and tell him he sucks, go fight Thorkel. It's just been a bunch of crazy tasks, and for once, he did not succeed. So this man's like, yep, we're screwed. So back to the prince. Bjorn kills the guys, but of course he's still possessed. That berserker mushroom, freak, like, bro. Imagine he takes that thing and then just like his wife and kids are with him.
He doesn't have any wife or kid.
Of course,
Not
oh,
Bjorn.
None of these men are just, oh man. And of course, as Bjorn is coming through, homeboy is going through that awakening. It's like no one knows the meaning of love. They don't even know why they're fighting, bro. Oh, it's like what we lost in exchange for wisdom. The bitten apple, what we lost, because we got kicked out. We'll never get back as long as we're alive. Yet you still tell us to seek it.
Oh,
Bro,
see that line right there,
I
dude?
understand.
Oh man.
I don't see it like that at
Oh
all. Like
man.
that's again, yeah. Like the religion has divided this world. I understand like different beliefs and whatnot, but like I get that. I get that, bro. Like you're having us chase like just being good, being kind, and love when just that doesn't exist, bro. just shit. Like it doesn't exist. Ugh! Yet you still tell us to seek it. Like we've been kicked out of the Garden of Eden. Like you drill in our mind to put in scriptures like and for us to keep being good, like for us not to sin, for us to
An
be in a good
impossible
light in
task.
your eyes, yes. And then you still have men that are slaughtering an entire village, bro. Like what is the point? Like what is the point? Like, oh my goodness. And of course, to make it to who I'm talking to, she say, "Father in heaven." Yeah, bro.
I'm gonna
As
make
we're
it
alive,
clear who I'm addressing here.
yet you still tell us to seek it, Father in heaven. Oh my goodness! Like, are we only here to be tested, like lab rats, bro? Like this man cannot be
Man,
saved through trials you set for him. What he show like Bajorn? Like, bro, like you put him in this earth, man. The man has to kill to survive. Like, how is he ever gonna find salvation? The man is like spoiled. This man has blood in his hand, blood in his soul. This man is far away from you. Like, he's like, I will no longer seek your salvation. We'll create our own paradise on this earth,
Jesus Christ.
bro. Bro, dude, I am a sucker for like beautiful storytelling, like regardless of like the art form that's in, man. Like songs like Jay-Z, Meet the Parents, Blueprint 2.1. Just beautiful storytelling, man. He freaking takes you from a mom bearing like her son, and then throughout the song, take you to the history, decisions she's made that got her to this point, and circle back. Like movies, like Predestination, like Shiv, like explaining Shiv, that's her character, and Succession, explaining to you, like, bro, the chicken or the egg, like telling the story that you have to pay attention to get what she's talking about. You've seen Predestination, you know what I'm talking about, bro. Poems, bro, like Liminality, like Neil Hilborn, a freaking beautifully described car accident, just crazy metaphors, bro, like meticulously, like described. Just like Vinland Saga, bro. The storytelling, the character development, it's just chef's kiss, bro. Like
It's on
oh
another
my
level.
goodness, it's on another level, man.
Bro,
Like
honestly,
we, oh,
honestly, dude, if someone says that this story is not impressive, or if it's just okay, or if it's just average, I think that you either A, are not paying close enough attention to the
correct.
story,
Mm-hmm.
B, the story is too intense for you to be open minded to it
Yep.
and digest it, or C, you just don't have.
The mental capacity to, or what the?
It's like
That's a stretch.
yeah, it's like you don't get what it takes to write a
Right.
fantastic story in the first place. Like
Yeah, the
if
lack of
you,
appreciation, bro. Like seriously,
yeah,
just
man, like you, this is a once in a lifetime kind of storytelling that's coming out of
bro,
this show. It's insane.
bro. Oh my goodness, bro. And the character, the origin story, bro. Like, no, I don't want to give any spoiler. I'll get to that in season 2. But yeah, because I've seen the first 4 episodes and Christian have not seen the first 4 episodes of season 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll no longer seek this shit. I'll do it myself. Great. And of course, sneak attack. One of the guys stabbed Bjorn and Canute. Canute transformed. Like this is no longer the crybaby. This man is giving orders. Canute tell the priest. I forgot his name. What was his name? He called him by his first name for the first time.
Oh, I have no idea.
Abigalar. Yeah, whatever it was. But we love the priest. Yeah, help this man tend to his wounds. I'm gonna go get a horse and I'm gonna go find Torquil. It's like, wait, but Jordan's like, what do you mean you find Torquil? This will all be in vain, bro. What are you talking about? That this will mean that everything that just happened, there's like no meaning. You're running to the enemy that we're trying to keep you away from. And he's like, meaning, bro. There's no meaning in battle like this, bro. There's no meaning in battles like this. Stay here, don't die. And then the final speech, bro. Warriors, become my vassals. Is that how you pronounce it?
Vassals.
VA vassals. Yes. I'll
Yeah.
teach you when you must fight and against whom. I'll give meaning to your battles, to your life and
I'll
death.
give meaning to your meaningless life.
Bro, that's what the duty of a king is. Oh my goodness, bro. This man just ascended to the throne. It's just yo. Oh my goodness, bro. What a freaking array of episodes, bro. Christian, this was 2 hours.
Mm. You know, one thing I do want to kind of amend really quickly, because especially when I was talking about how like if you don't get why this is an amazing story, you know,
Yeah,
all those reasons, I do want to acknowledge that I can see how somebody would say that what's his name, Canute's development happened very quickly. Like he went from
right.
being like a little bitch pretty much to
Mm-hmm.
being this very resolved and stoic leader. At the same time, though,
Yeah,
I could make an argument as to why that could happen, but
yeah,
I do
of
want to
course.
just, you know, I just want to, because I feel
Christian,
like that did
the
come across as a little bit like uppity when I said that. And I don't want it to come
really,
across as that. I was just saying
well,
that this is a
hmm.
fantastic story and that it should be appreciated to its fullest.
But
Just want to
I,
put
I
that out there.
understood that. Christian, you just went through a life traumatic loss and a life traumatic realization in this period of like 2 days. Ragnar was like your father. This literally was your father. You just lost him. He died, which is
Mm,
the one person who shelled you against this lifestyle, raised you like a normal kid instead of what you were groomed to become. This is who you were meant to be. You were meant to be in battles and lead. Although your father don't understand that, I get that. And B, your faith just got tested. You just got another awakening. You got a fatherly. That's not awakening. It's a fatherly death, I guess, and then a spiritual, religious awakening to be like, oh shit,
mm-hmm.
like bro, I'm just blindly following faith, watching men slaughter each other. Fuck that. Thank you, priest, for allowing me to see. I see clearly now, and her ability, her. I need to stop. His his ability too to be so quick with it, to take all that in and just absorb it and process it and see, okay, I understand what you just said. I'm picking them up now. Yes, fuck that. I need to start now writing my narrative instead of just clinging onto a God and being obedient and letting his will get done when his will are just men acting heartlessly, brutally. Like I'm taking the pen. I'm the narrator now. I can understand how that can be sudden. Because dude,
Mm,
it's a lot to go through,
mm-hmm.
and it's been processed beautifully. Like, nah, yeah. On my end, it was not rushed at all. I can see how you can get from A to Z if you go through these things in the period of time he went through, and also the what's going on. You don't have time to process this too. It's like we mentioned this in The Last of Us. What did Joel go through? He doesn't have to process. What happened that someone didn't have time to process and had to just keep walking? Fuck. Is that The Last of Us or some other show that I'm watching? What did we? Is that you and I or someone else? Something that happened to
Might.
someone. They don't even have time to process that loss. They just have to keep moving forward. Fuck. Is this Vinland Saga? That might even be in Vinland Saga, but I don't remember. But yeah, something
Yeah, I
like
don't
that.
know.
So it's like it's crazy.
Mm. Well, these were intense episodes. These were
Yeah,
intense.
yeah. We just lost. We lost a hate watcher.
No, we gained a hate watch.
We can't. Do these men have time? Do they have jobs? 2 hours. What is this? No girls. There are no girls.
uh,
Crazy shit. But yeah, all right, man. Let's wrap this up. This is too much.
yep.
All right, and then we will be done with season 1 next week or next time. Until next time, the last 6 episodes.
Yeah.
Fucking pumped.
See you
Okay.
then.
All right,
Bye.
dude. Bye.